Hey, welcome to this channel. Being this is my first time in the net, I wish to start covering my view on current events, trending political topics to military history. We need to rise up and make our voices heard, because too many of the times that across our great country people want to say something but can't, and this is one of mine. I felt that I haven't been able to say anything, and I want to be able to do it in some form or fashion, and starting a YouTube channel. That's what I've been wanting to get off the ground for the past year, but just haven't been getting there. Gotta get motivated, and now I am motivated. Looking at what I've gotten myself into action here, and want to say that our country's been jacked up for so much lately, I want to say my piece about it now. Excuse my YouTube studio here, my office, per se, but I'll get around to that. But the bottom line, I'm getting started here. A lot of people, call me, by my name is Roger, but hey, Rowdy, because working for many years in the military, being around operation centers, everybody's yelling, Roger this, Roger that, and one of the things that my bosses and others have been able to catch my attention, saying, Rowdy, hey, then that causes me to take action and do something. But on the other hand, I've also gotten my fair shares of trouble along the way, and it's just not something that hey, I want to be proud of. But hey, shit happens, they say, and move on and draw fire, as they say at times. As an Army veteran of 27 years, I've traveled to 50+ countries, deployed to several peacekeeping missions, and being in 3 combat zones. I kind of feel like I have a thing to say about some of this stuff. During the ramp up, give me an example. During the ramp up of OIF, everything was on top secret level until we crossed the berm in March of '03. While we're in Kuwait, before the war, I felt as if we are invading another country for so-called weapons of mass destruction that was not really there. I knew it wasn't possible Iraq ever had really anything, but it was just like, okay, we're going through the motions, and we're going to go and do what we're told, as we all are in the military. You just can't say, oh, I'm a civilian now, and I don't want any involvement. And it goes back to one of the things that people were saying, that you can't say no to an unofficial order in the military. Well, you can if you really know what you're talking about. But there's so many things that are gray areas, and that's a chance that okay, do I ruin my career or something that I'm not real sure? That's where you go seek advice from a JAG attorney to really find out. But that's a hard thing in the military these days. That's another topic of discussion. I left the U.S. in 2012, and I was discussing with the rat race, my recent divorce at the time, and issues of PTSD. I packed up and moved to the Philippines to get a better perspective on life. Well, okay, that was great, but again, you're still a U.S. citizen. You have a lot of it's hardwired into you not to care about what's happening to your country. I mean, at times I've thought about, okay, I'll just denounce my U.S. citizenship and say goodbye. But it's just not necessarily something I really want to deep down do. Something I was looking at in Guam. I was doing some medical stuff, and I decided to join a No Kings Day protest. Well, I thought it was pretty cool, to hold the sign saying, hey, this is not right. No kings should be leading our country and stuff. But in Guam, there wasn't much going on there, and I couldn't really do much of anything there. And the Philippines, definitely, you don't get involved in political stuff. But there's so many things that, I want to say, and I've been saying it to myself. It's like, what am I going to do? I looked at options. Okay, I can't just fly back to the U.S. and get involved. I'm not rich and can be, able to just jump into anything and everything there. But I don't want to move back to the U.S. because I like it a lot much better here. and I just really want to be able to do something. So YouTube, okay, maybe I just start that and see where it goes. I voice my opinion and be able to say something. Making my mark, I don't know, but hey, give it a shot. We have both sides of the political spectrum going on at each other, and no one seems to be staying in the center and being civil. We have these tribal things going on. I'm far left and you're far right, and I don't like you, and so on and so forth. The leaderships of both sides of the political spectrum are staying in too long for multiple terms. Way too old, my God. After the age of 70, come on, you need to pop out and let somebody a lot younger to give it a shot. Certainly not me, because I'm almost there myself. Now, something we need we need change, but it's like he wants to make me go scream and go raging mad. We need to stop members of Congress from corruption that goes on and kick them out. You have some more compass heading going on here, and then this includes the top down too. The impeachment rules need to have some teeth to them. Really, it needs to. And then you look at the mass shootings we got going on. That seems to take on a new normal. I mean, every time you turn the news, it's there. And there's a lot of them that don't even get on the news. They get on local stations and stuff, but then they go away. Everybody says we're going to pray for them. Well, prayer, God damn it, doesn't bring anybody back. And then you look at the part of it saying, well, those of I hate seeing violence, and those are saying that, oh, don't take my guns away. I gotta have guns. Well, fuck me, guns are okay, but lives don't matter. I mean, come on. That's complete sanity in my book. I also hate those crying, oh, don't take my guns away. It's like now in my lifetime, in the last 64 years, tell me, has anybody tried killing off the Second Amendment or trying to get anybody arrested with the guns? Oh, hell no, that hasn't happened, and it'll never happen like that. That's just a way to scare people that have their guns and get them to say, oh, we don't want any changes to the Second Amendment. We don't want this. It's our birthright. Okay, if they're talking about taking away the birthright amendment, okay, we can take away the Second Amendment. But I don't want to go that far, because I believe in carrying a weapon for personal protection. But it says, why in the world do we need AR-15s and machine guns to go hunting? My God, those people just can't hit the side of a barn with those anyway. So why even allow them to be out there? There's better ways of doing this, a lot better ways. And then you go look at those who are power from killing our country. Climate change. I'm talking about climate change. More intense droughts. I mean, there's water it's not there anymore. They're saying all these horrible things are happening. Look at our rivers and lakes drying up. Severe fires are going on. The rising sea levels, flooding, storms, and declining biodiversity of wildlife and stuff. But everybody screams, but no one wants to do anything, especially on the political side of the house. I don't see one person trying to make something happen. And then you always have major corporations and groups out there that just will pay big money to kill anything off. It's like our food security is being taken away with this. Corporations buying up all individual farms, and foreign countries buying up all our good farmland. I mean, we're going to have food that's not made in the USA anymore. I mean, I see that coming real fast, and no one's talking about it. You look at the inflation, the expenses we go through, high cost for groceries, gas. Well, they say gas is going down, but that's what? What else? Groceries, housing, utilities are major concerns. The financial squeeze that's caused people to go broke, just living month to month, paycheck to paycheck, as they say. And then you've got threats to our infrastructure of cybersecurity, the power grids, our healthcare, cyber attacks, and there's nothing being done about it. That's just crazy out there. we got AI and the tech policy that doesn't exist. You know, they're trying not to allow states to you know, put you know, regulations and policies on that. You know, this really look at what has happened with you know, the growth of AI. That YouTubers or people out there looking on YouTube believing they're real. Look at the AI-generated videos of the recent ones, food stamp scammers that were all fake. Yeah, these fat, white and black women that are supposed to be poor, and they're getting thousands of dollars in free SNAP benefits and the other stuff out there, all underneath food stamps. And then you look at our medical system of coverage is a joke. Look at the what causing folks to go out there and shoot corporate health care individuals and others. Our conventional media is almost gone. Getting any decent news is not possible anymore. You got media that's far left and far right. No one's in the center. Everything, and if you do say anything against the current administration, you're gone, you're toast, your history, and even your shows now are starting to get killed off because they might say something to offend somebody. So that is just really horrendous. Media outlets and newspapers are disappearing. You can't even find a decent newspaper. Years ago, some towns had 2 or 3 papers. They're none now. The wealth equality in the United States is growing more all the time. Just think of the basic federal wage has not been increased since 2009. And then even if you're getting above minimum wage, some people still don't survive on that. And you've got you know, more wealthy people in the United States, percentage-wise, to poor people, and they're not even paying taxes. My God, I feel like as a retired veteran, I'm getting eaten alive with taxes. I don't want to go work a job out there because I know I'll get murdered on the taxes alone. It's just not worth my time and effort to do that. You know, looking at you know, our costs for, you know, what groceries are, gas, housing, utilities, and then you know, the wages just get squeezed out. And then, you know, we got to keep the politics from. My concern is influencing our military, our active duty folks. The way our service members can say anything is, the only way they can say anything is by voting with their feet. A lot of people don't realize that they can't go out and say anything and can't protest. But, you know, you've got, you know, the military out there being influenced by our politicians, by going to a military base and conducting a political rally and getting them to be all hyped up about it and then selling their merch and stuff. That just blew me away. Our country is throwing the hell out of handbasket at a fast rate. And the last thing you want to do is get our military politicized, and then, you know, you get politics involved at such a level in the military that I've had some veterans say to me, "Oh, don't worry about it, you know, our military will know what to do," and they'll do it. Okay, I mean, the last thing we want is to have our military be involved in a coup. Our military is not like that. We have the most professional military in the world. And it just kills me by no end to see politicians get up there and get our young service members all riled up about stupid political things and how I lost my rally and my dog, or lost my election. And their cat they lost. Oh yeah, it goes back to that, oh, they're eating the damn cats and dogs. Okay, I personally would love them to do that, clean up the streets. Here, come to the Philippines and see all the cats and dogs running around. I would love somebody here to be saying, hey, they're eating the cats and dogs, and I'd be cheering them on. Go, buddy, go. And then you look at our immigration system's broken. You know, I got it, but no one's doing anything to fix it up. They're rounding up every man, woman, and child that doesn't look white and hauling away. And even U.S. citizens. My God, what the hell's going on? No one has any kahunas to fix our immigration system. You know, just because you're throwing people out is not the right way to do things. I mean, my God, you know, the Eisenhower administration, you know, and those before that during World War II, immigrants were allowed to come into the U.S. and you know, be those folks picking the fruit and harvesting crops. But if you don't have that, and then you get politicians saying, "Oh my God, we have you know, people that don't need to be on food stamps," saying, "Go do it." Yeah, right. That's really going to happen. And then there was the one politician that said, "Oh yeah, those kids under the age of 16 don't need you know, any free lunch. They need to go out and work for it." Oh my God, it just makes my head hurt to any extreme. I hope it makes your head hurt too, because it really just burns me up, and I hope I'm feeling the same from everybody else out there. And it's something that we need to really raise the awareness about all this stuff that's happening. And these are just a few issues that's going on out there. There's more out there that's just not being raising the awareness of, but you know, who's doing anything? I mean, you look at our infrastructure around the U.S., bridges are falling apart and other stuff, and no one seems to want to be doing anything about it. I guess we have to have a bake sale just to fix our local streets and stuff. But I hope he gives us a little bit of insight of who I am and what my concerns are. And most of all, you know, join me to help you know, raise these issues and stuff, and let's keep them going out there, that somebody knows what's happening and they're not going to let any of these things die in vain. And now, with that said, I hope you know, you keep safe, and it's a jungle out there. Thank you for watching.